Hello everybody, this is Starman and welcome back to Let's Play the Pandora Directive, Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Well, last time you remember I had a heck of a time getting this puzzle to work. I finally figured it out. It turns out that it had a set thing where you're supposed to drag the pieces together and let them snap into place rather than placing them together closely as I was. So you had to drag everything a little bit at a time before it would click. But here we go. We got the message. I am watching you. I take pictures. Be afraid. So now we are going to go travel back to Mac Malden and pester him for details about the Black Arrow Killer.
Make it quick, Murphy. I got about a million things to do. And wasting time on you ain't one of them.
Make it quick, cut through the facade, give some helpful advice. Let's go with facade.
We've known each other a long time, Mac. You don't need to pretend you're busy every time I stop by.
Look, I doubt you will understand this concept, Murphy, but I have a real job, and I've got a lot to do today. So go ahead and ask me a few questions, but then get out of my hair and go play detective somewhere else.
All right.
Take a look at this note.
Damn. Did you get this?
I got it from a client. What can you tell me about it?
You ever hear about the Black Arrow Killer?
Vaguely familiar, but refresh my memory.
Oh no, you're on your own in this one. You take care of yourself. That's dangerous territory.
Yeah, gonna be as useful as ever.
I don't know any more than what I've told you.
Namely, nothing.
Most of what I know came from the papers. I know there's a rumor around that the Black Arrow Killer has moved out here.
And just for the heck of it.
Sorry.
All right. Well, as long as we're out and around, might as well check out that cabin. You know, work on our paying case.
David Wright's cabin is out in the middle of nowhere. The place appears to be totally abandoned. The door's unlocked, but as soon as I step inside, I sense something wrong. Like I'm just about to open a carton of milk that's been sitting out in the sun too long. And this door's jammed shut. That's an interesting picture. Some sort of ancient temple. This must be Mr. Wright, the owner of the cabin.
So
Nice
now,
supply of firewood.
now we are looking for Mr. Wright. Ha 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 ha.
The rag's got brown stains all over it. No, that's blood.
Clearly some type of struggle took place in here.
Nice wad of paper.
Another witness to the bizarre events of 1947 may have been New Mexico Lieutenant Governor Joseph Montoya. According to sources close to Montoya, he visited the military base shortly after the UFO crash, and when speaking to friends soon after, appeared very pale, almost white, shaking and very, very scared. After consuming half a quart of whiskey, Montoya told his friends he'd seen 4 little men. He described their size, short, skinny-like, facial features, big eyes, the mouth was real small, like a cut across a piece of wood, and went on to say that one was alive. While these excerpts of conversation are subjective and impossible to authenticate, they are one of thousands to indicate the fact that there was indeed a UFO crash covered up by a massive government cover-up contributed by AE. Puzzle of the month. Fill the grid so there are 4 blue squares, 3 red squares, 3 white, 3 green, 3 yellow. No horizontal, vertical, or diagonal can have more than 1 square of the same color. Good luck.
This drawer.
Hey, we can tell that that drawer will be promising.
Interesting. I bet this'll run on my computer back at the office.
Because in the far future of 2043, they're still using CD-ROMs.
These books look like they've been tossed around, like somebody was rifling through them.
And of course, the window there
This
is
window
broken.
looks like it's been broken for a while. I'd guess the cabin's been unoccupied ever since, or someone would have covered the hole. These books look like they've been tossed around, like somebody was rifling through them.
Alright, let's check the disc out then. Go back to the Ritz, go to the computer room. And use CD from cabin. And okay, here's a puzzle that did make it in from game player mode. The trick is you have to set up all the squares but not have any duplicates on each row. I won't waste your time by making you watch me do this, so see you in a second. Alright, I think this will complete it. Voila! Okay, and the pattern it gives us is that one, that one, that one, and that one. Basic 4 square grid. Okay, and click on the next one. Let's see. Maya stand alone among early Mesoamerican cultures is evidenced by the Dresden Codex, a native book of pictures with explanatory hieroglyphs. Pictures of the codex date back thousands of years. Some of the contents, such as the tables predicting eclipses and tables on the cycles of the planet Venus, are highly scholarly and would have been meaningful only to trained astronomical experts. Their knowledge is even more amazing in light of the fact that all the observations of Venus had to be done with the naked eye. The Maya knew with great accuracy the exact solar year, but rather than adjusting their calendar by adding extra days, as we do for leap year, they added a correction formula that indicated how many days away from the correct seasonal position the 365-day calendar was at that particular time. The correction formula revealed an extremely accurate notion of solar phenomena. In fact, the Maya year is more accurate than our present Gregorian calendar year, which is now introduced as the standard calendar year in Western civilization of 1582, over 1,000 years later. Michael D. Coe found that the Maya culture was intrusive. It appeared on the scene as a band of outsiders of a vastly superior civilization. Where the outsiders come from: 1, there is nothing that we know that relates to his culture to any other in the world. 2, none of the artifacts found to date show existence of Eastern Hemispheric origins. There is much speculation about the origin of the Maya. One linguistic researcher has pointed out an interesting coincidence concerning the story of the Tower of Babel in the Old Testament. Old Testament should typically be capitalized, I'd think. While the Old Testament was supposedly written well before Maya flourished, the Mayan word for Babel, or Babel, means confusion. Moreover, the Mayan expression meaning to speak in confusion is Babel than. Why would the inclusion of Mayan words in the languages of Asia and Europe indicate? It's possible to conclude that within the Maya context there existed, in effect, a primitive language from which other world languages are derived. There's every indication the early Maya were a tremendously religious people. Their energy in worship and providing the trappings for worship was unflagging. More than this, religious participation seems to have been the keystone that bound social classes into a cooperative functioning system. The Mayans' principal deity was undoubtedly Itzama, the sky god. They believed that he was sent to Earth by Hurub-Ku, the one god. According to most accounts, Ismana came from the eastern sky. He was known as the great astrologist, lawgiver, and high priest. Mayans also believe that there were 4 cows, gods who controlled the world from the 4 compass points. Mayan ceremonies were directed toward appeasing many different gods. Hun-Ahan, the god of death; Ixchel, the goddess of the moon; Kulachan, the deity of the polar star; Kinshi-Ahan, the sun god. I'm totally mangling these names, I'm certain. Mayans also greatly feared solar eclipses, often committing suicide rather than facing the wrath of Zulab. All of which is fascinating, but not particularly relevant to us at the moment. So let's go back to the cabin.
Rag's got...
Yeah, we looked at that one already.
A security keypad. I guess whatever's behind the door must be important.
Brilliant detective work. Let's see, the code was that, and that.
Whoa, now there's an antique. A real 16mm projector. Movie screen? Sheesh, I haven't seen one of these since I was a kid. Looks like a post-war map of Scotland.
And for once, nothing in there.
Nothing in here. The paper scattered around appears to have fallen off the bookcase. Nothing interesting in the cup.
I.e., there's no coffee in it.
These books look like they've been tossed around, like somebody was rifling through them. It's a reel of 16mm film. This reel looks at least 100 years old.
Let's go ahead and grab that. Alright, we'll go ahead and use this in the camera. And turn it on.
What is this? It's got to be some sort of practical joke. Wait a second. Whatever that thing is, it just moved. I think I remember some sort of alien autopsy film from years ago, but that alien was dead. This thing looks alive, but just barely. Seems to be in a lot of pain. Wonder what happened to him.
Did ancient astronauts get killed by socialized medicine? Read the book. Now we pre-baked this alien at 450 degrees to a golden brown. Let's see how it turned out. Alright, rinse and spit.
Uh-oh. He doesn't look like he's gonna make it.
Yeah, Domino's, yeah, I'll take large cheese and one large pepperoni.
I wonder if Malloy's disappearance is connected in some way to the contents of this film clip. Military personnel, a live alien? If it wasn't a hoax, this thing could stir things up in a big way. Maybe I shouldn't be getting involved. This is the sort of thing that gets people killed.
And that seems like a good clue as any to go, hey, what's this hole in the floor?
Some of these floorboards appear to be loose. Oh, Lord. Someone put some good holes in this guy. There's not much left of him, but I don't think this is Malloy, judging by the hair. Looks more like the guy in the photo downstairs. David Wright. The question is, who's responsible for this? And did they get Malloy, too?
Well, let's rebury him and get the heck out of here. And back to the street, I think. Because we do in fact have a key for Rusty's now.
Well, Mac gave me the key to open the cop lock, but he didn't tell me how to deactivate it. Oh well. I'll just have to figure it out. The 4 nodes on the left have to link up with the 4 nodes on the right. The connections can't intersect or the cop lock resets.
Now, unlike game player mode, this one doesn't give us a limited number of moves or time us. So we have a little bit more time for a leisurely approach here. And there we go. And looks like the local thugs had quite a number on Rusty's before the police got here. Didn't touch the masks and plastic weaponry, oddly enough.
Rusty's armory of plastic weapons. Kids don't play with these anymore. Well, why should they when they can have the real thing? An impressive selection of masks and wigs, designed to suit your every mood.
Yeah, nothing we need to take there. But this is new.
I wonder what this pedal-looking thing does.
Maybe it leads to a speakeasy. Or a slightly suspicious-looking back room.
It's an old newspaper with Mac Malden named Policeman of the Week. Must have been a real slow week at the precinct.
Hey, could always use a good novelty item.
Man, this fake dog-you-do looks real enough to step in. Man, this fake stuff looks so real. It'll make a great gag. Can you imagine the look on somebody's face when I... Hey, wait a second. Oh, sick! Those police dogs were in here. Sorry, Mac, but first things first. Ah, rubber chickens. They make me think of Grandma's rubber chicken pot. Oh, now here's a classic. Fake vomit. This comes in handy when you don't want people taking the seat beside you. I once broke up with a girlfriend over a whoopee cushion. Literally. I wonder why Rusty would keep this copy machine hidden. Unless he was using it to... I don't even want to think about that.
So, yes, we have that, and there is a hidden doorway to the street here.
There's a door built into these bricks.
As well as...
This ladder leads to the roof of the funhouse.
And let's go ahead and head up there first.
I'd think this rickety water tower hadn't been used in years, except for the shiny new padlock on the tower door. Looks like a Meister lock. Top of the line, they're uncuttable and unbreakable. Without the padlock key, there's no way to get inside that water tower.
Which means we're not going to have much luck with this. We get a nice view of the city and the tower from here, though.
Coit Tower rises regally over the surrounding slag heap.
Looks pretty good considering how brown everything is. Let's go ahead and head back down. I don't want to climb into the sewer just yet, but...
A sermon on the joys of not eating meat, to be delivered by Reverend Gary. Okay.
Yeah, let's go check out the local preacher and antagonize him.
And he proclaimed in a mighty voice, "Woe be unto ye, eaters
I've heard
of
about
flesh.
Crazy Gary, but we've
Cursed
never
are
formally
those who
met.
partake of the
He appears
sausage
occasionally in
patty
some nook
and
of
leek
Chandler Avenue,
and
ranting
fiddling
wildly like a
bacon.
space-age Moses
Cry
strung out
for
on
forgiveness,
Demerol
ye
and bad
jesters of
scotch.
honey-baked ham and all other
You! No, not you, the one in the hat. Have you not come to be healed?
Stale humor, prime rib directive, doggy joke.
No, we've already covered that in obedience school.
Not that kind of healed. I speak of the vile grub that rots within your digestive tract.
Let's see. Maintain privacy, discuss lunch, plead forgiveness.
So I ate 3 chili cheese dogs today for lunch. I don't see that's any of your business.
The lunch of the damned, those who worship at the altar of beef, veal, and poultry shall reap the vengeance of atherosclerosis.
Nothing to worry about. The real problem, not quite clear on the terminology.
I'll never die of that. My liver will never last that long.
Ah, then you too are an imbiber of the blessed potations. Which do you prefer, rum or vodka?
Let's see. Not particularly discriminating, an unsettling thought. Let's go with the official beverage of private investigators.
Bourbon, actually.
I, myself, prefer a nice single malt scotch.
Suggest a pack, cut to the quick, friendly and agreeable. Get to it.
Shut up. You're making me thirsty. I need to ask you some questions.
No, I must return to my pulpit and expound upon the straight and narrow path of regularity. Good day.
Sounds like a bottle of good scotch might loosen up Crazy Gary's tongue. I heard that Sal Lucido, the former owner of the Slice of Heaven pizza parlor, kept a first-rate stash of illegally imported booze somewhere on the street.
Nice of them to give us that solution. But it is a solution that we will gratefully take. For we have this door down here that wasn't there last game.
Yeah, floors and stairs in here are all pretty dusty. Doesn't look as though anybody's been in here for a while. An ancient garbage can. The design doesn't seem to have changed much over the years. It's a bottle of something. Yummy. 25-year-old scotch.
In fact, let's just fast travel back to Gary.
And he lifted his voice and...
I happen to be in the middle of a very important sermon.
Make a donation, try to get a few couple of questions. Excuse me. Excuse me?
Yeah? There's nobody here.
That's where you're wrong, my friend. Now be gone with you.
All right.
I happen to be in the middle of a very important sermon.
Well, I brought you an offering.
How may I assist you, O venerable giver of the precious potation? That appellation is foreign to me. I have been summoned by a greater power to preach against the forces of red meat and its kin. It is my calling in life, and I fear no man.
All right.
Yeah, I've not heard of such a thing.
I'm showing it to you right now, schmucko.
No. My ignorance is regrettable. That appellation is foreign to me. A name with which I am totally unfamiliar. Now there is a man of insight. He eats no meat. Of course, he eats nothing but chocolate. I saw this man but once, strolling along the thoroughfare. He appeared to drop an article of some sort. When he bent to retrieve it, I espied an object fall from his pocket. It turned out to be a key. You may indeed have the key, and I wish you luck in locating the poor man.
All right, that's something at least.
My ignorance is regrettable. I am unable to assist you.
And it will continue on like this. But we got all we need from Gary for the moment, which is a key into the warehouse.
I guess they have to keep this door locked now that people are storing their stuff here.
Arr, well, shiver me timbers. It's a pirate's chest.
Yahar!
Arr, a peg leg.
I hope all the prosthetic devices didn't belong to the same pirate. Must belong to the guy with the hook. That's a nasty hook. Sword looks pretty sharp. It's probably the reason for the peg leg.
Well, blow me down. It's a Lucky Pierre signature souvenir pirate hat.
I wonder if we're going to do a peg leg, you ask? Well, just so happens.
What's this? It's a crate with Thomas Malloy's name stenciled right on the side. Sheesh. The way my luck's been going, this will probably be my next apartment. That box looks like it's empty. These are either oxygen tanks or artillery shells.
Which one is it? You'll have to ask the artist.
The sliding unit has moved to the end of the track right above Malloy's crate.
Which is awfully convenient. Alright, to the controls.
This button must turn on the pulley system. This panel must operate the crane. This button probably...
Okay, that did indeed lower it. But in order to lift it, luckily, we have this peg. So now we just need to raise it up.
Looks like the button could...
And we turn it off because we're thoughtful like that. So let's see what Malloy had in here.
Plains of Nazca. I don't see any airplanes. What's this? It's a crate with Thomas Malloy's name stenciled right on the side. It's a rug or a wall hanging. This stored gear looks like surveyor's equipment. Malloy must have been a pretty versatile guy. What's this? It's a crate. Well, this is certainly an interesting design. I wonder what type of symbols these are.
And postcard from the plains of Nazca. So that did not really give us anything to help with Malloy, except what's this?
Looks like something fell out of Malloy's crate.
A map of Southeast Asia. Well, this will probably be useful later, but I'll be darned if I can figure out how. Well, there is one more thing we can pester Rook about. Because I do live to pester Rook.
I heard it through the grapevine that you and Chelsea had a little spat at the Flamingo. How Embarrassing.
Snippy rejoinder, fill in on the details. Let's go violent.
Oh, I'll show you embarrassing. You don't keep your nose out of my business, I'll break it.
Temper, temper, Mr. Murphy. I'm not the one who won't go out with you. I have to stay here and answer your annoying questions.
All right, then.
As a matter of fact, I just received a large number of reference books from an estate. If I'm not mistaken, one of the books was titled Yucatec Made Easy. You can buy it if you'd like, $30.
Not a chance, Rook. I'd be aiding and abetting a robbery.
Suit yourself.
Okay, well, since we've made the point of being a jerk about it.
As a matter of fact, I just...
Well, I hope my new purchase will help me out.
All right. Exit to the avenue.
If Louis was right, this book should help me figure out what the letter says.
All right. Combine with untranslated letter. And the translated letter... Dear Thomas, I apologize for the delay in responding to your letter. It had to be forwarded several times and finally caught up to me here in Chalupa, Mexico. Doing field work making it difficult to track now. It's good to hear from you and see your Yucatec is still exceptional. I was also happy to hear that I was able, and it scrolled past. Luckily. Anyway. It was good to hear from you, and I see that your Yucatec is still exceptional. I was also happy to hear that I was able to help out with your deciphering work. The similarities between some of the symbols you sent me and those in the new Mayan codices I've discovered are quite stunning. You may be interested to hear about some of my recent work. As I've related, there are many local legends in this area that seem to confirm some of your theories. I admit I've been skeptical, but recent discoveries have made me rethink my position. Several weeks ago, I met an ancient local man who gave me a set of drawings of ancient Mayan hieroglyphics, which I will reproduce below. The translation reads, Foraha, 8 Akum, Black Sun, Sky, Forest, God's Divine Bird Mountain. Foraha, 8 Akum is, of course, the date at which the Mayan calendar begins, corresponding to 3113 BC on the Gregorian calendar. Experts have always believed this date was arbitrary and that the Mayan culture didn't even exist until the 1st century AD. As for the remainder of the translation, Black Sun may refer to a solar eclipse. The other symbols can be translated conservatively or radically, depending upon your disposition. Either way, I'm trying to convince the old man who gave me the symbols to take me to where he found them. He believes this place is holy ground and tells me no man's entered there for centuries. He refers to the location as the birthplace. Of course, I'm intrigued. Hopefully my next communication will have more details. By the way, since you said you have a package to send me, since I'm doing field work off and on, why don't you send it to me in care of the Sac Packing Hotel in Chiapa? Best regards, Oliver Edison. So, yeah. Well, this gives us quite a bit to work with, but I think we'll go ahead and close this chapter out here. And next time, we will pursue our next lead. We'll see you then.